In this video, I'll be detailing how to set up a dynamic DNS with dyndns.com and link it to your router. So what you're going to want to do is set up an account with dyndns. They're free. Basically what this is it's a domain name that will match to your router's IP address given to you by your ISP and be able to forward that to your computer so that you can remember this domain name instead of having to know the exact IP address of your computer every time. So you're going to choose your host name here. I usually do something with the home IP down here because home IP is easier to remember, homeip.net, and then you can choose, you know, whatever domain name you want if it's available. And then you need to put this IP address in here. This is giving you what your IP address is right now so it can match them together. So there we go. And you select add to cart. And it is free. And then you go down here and you're going to create your account and you can put a username and password, all that good stuff. Remember to use the correct email so you can access it later on. So now what you're going to want to do is put all this information into your router. So normally a router's IP address is 192.168.1.1. However, yours may be different. You can check the book that came with your router, or you can, you know, troubleshoot, Google it, whatever. Once you figured out what your router's IP address is, you'll be greeted with probably a login page or a login username password field. You're going to also have to look and see what the default password for your router is. You can usually find those on Google or in the book that came with the router. But once you're in, you're going to need to set up the dynamic DNS, and it's either in advanced or tools. So I'm going to go ahead and click tools, dynamic DNS, and here you can see that I've put in all of my information. The host name I chose, my username that we put in on dyndns, and the password I chose for dyndns. And then from the drop down menu towards the right, if you have this, or it could be different, you're just going to want to select that you used dyndns.com as your free domain name service. So now that you've finished setting up your account with dyndns and you've linked it to your router, it's time to set up your port forwarding. And this is done through your router. On mine it's under advanced and then port forwarding. For yours it could be anywhere. Just look for port forwarding and get to there. And here's the IP address for my iMac, which is the computer that I want the specific ports to be forwarded to. So I've reserved this IP address specifically for the iMac, and there's a video on how to do that for computers on your network. Once you've finished that video and you're now here trying to set this up, you can continue. Otherwise, your router will continue to change the IP address it gives out to your specific computer, and this will become broken. So I've put port 21 and 5900, and I've named the connection FTP, VNC. The reason for that is port 21 handles FTP connections and port 5900 handles VNC connections. So now if I was to go over to my friend's house and type in the domain that I picked with dyndns into a program like Chicken of the VNC or Tight VNC or really any VNC viewer, it would then connect me to the router and then furthermore connect me to the iMac because the port has been forwarded specifically to the iMac. And that's how port forwarding works. And that's why it's so much easier to use a dynamic DNS hostname so that you don't have to remember your router's IP address every time you go somewhere, and that you want to be able to access your computer. And this has been a video on how to set up a dynamic DNS account with dyndns and link it to your router. And also, I've shown you how to forward ports to specific computers on your network. Thanks for watching.